It's Tania's world. Vlogs plus she got reactions. You should see this girl. Going up, she never lacking. It's Tania, you see her. Bringing flames, man, what? Gotta shout out T-Gang. Stand up, stand up.
What is up with my gang? What is up with my squad? T-Gang in this thing. What's poppin' with y'all? What's up, T-Gang? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I was asked to react to Northwest London's deadliest gang, South Kilburn, East State. This comment was left under a video that I did like 4 years ago. They even said it's been a minute since I did that reaction, but they still decided to leave this one. And y'all know, well, I don't think I told y'all, but I actually like reacting to like these type of videos over music videos, me personally. But I still do music video reactions. I just haven't did any for a while because I'm actually really on Twitch. So if y'all watching right now, I be on Twitch. I haven't disappeared. I have to say that in almost every video because it seemed like everybody be like, oh my gosh, she's alive. Yeah, I got asked to do this video 2 weeks ago, but I was gonna do this video a week ago, got sick, so here we are on the 3rd week. So if you're watching and you left that comment, that you know what happened. I didn't just say, oh, I'm gonna do it and then I do it. But before we get to this video, y'all know, like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell so you're always notified. But we're gonna get into this video. But yeah, so we're gonna get to it.
In the London borough of Brent, typical brutalist 1960s design of public housing in the United Kingdom, it is characterized by high-density housing in low-rise flats and 11 concrete tower blocks. It was approved in 1959 and extended in 1963. This scheme was further developed in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Redevelopment occurred during the 2010s. The population is predominantly Afro-Caribbean. South Kilburn has long been plagued by crime. The streets and blocks that characterize the dense sprawl of housing being the site of numerous shootings and drug trade controlled by various gangs. In the 1980s, when the war on drugs began within the northwest London area, many Yardie gang members that came to northwest London would take refuge in the borough of Brent. Areas within the borough had a spike in gang culture. When redevelopment happened on the Stonebridge estate, many gang members would move to South Kilburn, which ultimately strengthened the ties between the two areas.
The video ain't even been a whole minute long and we already getting ads and stuff. Just disrespectful.
Stephen Graham was a made man these times. Born and raised in Kilburn, he spent his heydays running around northwest London. Back when Stonebridge, Kilburn and Church Road were all linked. He was a key figure in the criminal underworld and linked to various violent incidents, including murder, while being heavily involved in organised crime. At only 14 years old, Stephen and his mates were known as the Kick-Off Head Crew, notorious for their brutal acts of violence. The police wanted him behind bars badly. They attempted to get him on a robbery charge he didn't commit. Luckily for him, at the time of the robbery, he was at a police ID parade in Brixton, so the police effectively became his alibi. After his mother found out, she sent him back to Jamaica to keep him.
Okay, his accent's kind of throwing. Why does he keep saying 5 seconds? I swear to God, I'm not touching it. I don't know why I keep saying 5 seconds. Like, I'm not just speeding it up or anything. His accent's kind of throwing me off. So so is he saying he was snitching? Cause why was you with the popo? That's a serious question. Like, why? It just sounds weird to me. I don't know. Y'all let me know exactly what happened, because it sounds a little weird. Like, why were you there? I mean, me personally, if I'm gonna get caught for some stuff, I'm not gonna want to get caught in my alibi and be, oh, I was with the police. What was you doing with the police?
In current times, Stephen Graham is an activist in the community to help stop youth violence. Now, I don't know too much about the 1990s, but what I've gathered is that there were a lot of gang members roaming the estate, some of which were real money makers. One prominent name that was infamous in the state was Venno Ranks, an individual who had a notorious reputation in the area. Another individual who went by the street name Looney was well feared. He was known for robbing and kidnapping high-profile gang members within the borough of Brent. He was also known for wearing brown shoes, and some people thought it gave him magic powers, similar to the cartoon William Wish Wellington. Now, around the late 90s to early 2000s, a group of olders and youngers would make a name for themselves in the South Kilburn estate. The leading figure was a gangster by the name of MG. Other members included Tex, P, E1, MK, Ryder, Gotti, Nasty, Justo, his two younger bros Smalls and Tank, Young Ricks, Cowboy, Miniman, Stormtrooper, Diesel, etc. Now, Tex was originally from the Stonebridge Park estate. In 2001, when Stonebridge was being gentrified, he moved to South Kilburn and practically took it over, becoming a lead figure along with MG. Now, on the 15th of August 1999, at a flat at 16 Dickens House, Kilburn, a man known as O'Neill Anthony Layla was shot at about 3 a.m. in a flat whilst attending a party, and afterwards staggered out onto the second floor.
Dang, he was only 20. I mean, I can't really say anything because, you know, over here in California, yay. I mean, crime is everywhere, but it's a good thing y'all be telling me to watch these videos, because I don't think if y'all would have told me to watch these videos, I probably would be like those people that's like, it's London, there's no crime. I probably would have been like one of those people. So I thank y'all for leaving these type of comments, because I probably would have never known or never even thought that crime like this existed. Like, I never would have thought a 20-year-old would get shot. All I can say is thank y'all, because I know somebody's still gonna take that statement, comment, whatever, the wrong way. But thank you to the people that be leaving these type of videos, because I probably would have been that one person like, it's London, there's no crime. It's London, there's crime. There's crime.
And tried to escape, but was chased and shot dead as he lay on the ground. Two men with their faces covered to varying degrees with only their eyes showing entered the flat and shot him in cold blood. The men were seen to flee afterward. It was thought that his killer had been a young black youth who may have been held by an accomplice. O'Neill Layla was taken to Northwick Park Hospital, where his post-mortem found that he died from gunshots to the head. The police said they came up against a wall of silence during their investigations. Now, the gun that was used to kill him was later traced to a man that had previously given 16 Dickens House as his address when he had been arrested some weeks before the murder. The man and two other men were arrested in relation to O'Neill Layla's murder, but they all either denied it or made no comment in interviews. It was noted that the police said that they had the intelligence that suggested that they had been in the area at the time and knew that one of them had recently been involved in an altercation with O'Neill Layla. The investigation into his murder was called Operation Power Stop. This was a common theme in South Kilburn. Lots of murders went unsolved. Now, C. Biz, also known as Cowboy, was born on the 8th of October 1986. C. Biz was originally from out of town before he moved to South Kilburn. He actually came from a rich family, but still managed to find himself in the streets. C. Biz went to St. Augustine School with the likes of Tyke and Justo.
That'd be crazy when you come from a rich family and still somehow find your way to the streets. It doesn't make sense. Like if you came from, well, I wouldn't say a good foundation, because I did talk to somebody before, and it was like, just because I done did A, B, C, and D don't mean that I'm like rich. But it just be like, coming from like pretty much nothing, and you hear like a little bit of something, you be like, you got a lot, you got money. Why, dude? You had the money. Why would you still go to the streets? That would be different if he was like broke and struggling, and like he became like a big drug dealer or something. Like that's a little different. But you came from money. What like, why?
C. Biz spent his first years on the block out of the way. In his own words, I couldn't just walk up to the block like they were real life gangsters. It was crazy over there. When you're walking through, you gotta keep your head straight and make sure you look innocent and keep it moving. However, after years went by, he got familiar with them. One of the oldest, known as Armani, would also take C. Biz's girl. He learned the hard way that being hood rich attracts the females. Now, growing up in a block, C. Biz's friend had a father who would call C. Biz Cowboy. The same friend would eventually also start calling him Cowboy. One day he was playing basketball with C. Biz, where he would say, "Easy, Cowboy." Armani would overhear this and think it was his name, so also started calling him it. Eventually the name Cowboy would stick. After year 11, at the age of 15, the period where you're really starting to think about what you're going to pursue in life, C. Biz's age mates were searching for colleges and sixth forms to attend. It is this period where he felt disillusioned with life and led astray. He became involved in the streets. Now there was a top boy from South Kilburn, a drug dealer who had the money, women, power and respect. He was known for flexing his big bikes and Toyota MR2. He was the center of attention on the estate. Now one day he needed a favor. He was recently released from prison and was on an electronic tag. Despite not being confident he could do it, C-Biz agreed due to how the opportunity would benefit him in the long run. Long story short, C-Biz accomplished the task handed to him and developed a business relationship with him. Now over time he went through the stages of stashing money in his socks, to then having to iron the notes due to them being crumpled, to then wrapping it in foil, to finally placing it all in a shoebox. Now one early morning before 10 PM, C-Biz managed to make £5,000 from his dealings. It amazed his friend Justo to the point that he thought it must have been money he had already stacked up. Justo was convinced until the end of the day where C-Biz made another £5,000. Justo helped him count up all the money at C-Biz's house. It was at this moment that Justo wanted in on the game. Now in the 90s, South Kilburn and Mozart Estate were united. There even used to be a bridge that connected both of the estates. They were known as the Mozart Mexicans. Lead figures included Double OG, Big Mecca and Ricky Platts. Double OG is the father of Little Dots, G Dots and Woo. Mozart was known as Crack City. Both estates would be making big money from their dealing, but when the new era, the late 90s to early 2000s, both estates would fall out due to money issues and vying for control. Now C-Biz along with his South Kilburn goons would have issues with the Press Road crew. After the fall of Press Road Rude Diney, an individual known as Magic took over the gang as the new lead and figurehead. Press Road would start applying pressure on South Kilburn. Magic led the charge and would end up robbing C-Biz for his chain. Press Road crew were taxing them and even kidnapping South Kilburn members back in 2005. Now sooner or later, South Kilburn members would respond to all the violations. On the 24th of September 2006, in the early morning, allegedly South Kilburn members went to the Scala nightclub in King's Cross looking for Magic. A KGB member, KGB standing for Kensal Green Boys, known as Paro, real name Daniel Ross, was hit in the head and he collapsed to the ground as hundreds of people fled the club by the fire exit. By the time the police arrived in response to a 999 call around 3:45 AM, most of the people there that night, including Daniel's friends, had left. One of the few remaining was a female stranger who stayed behind to try and help the victim. Daniel was taken to hospital but was pronounced dead at 5:22 PM the same day. He was 22 years old. The Metropolitan Police began a murder investigation, but soon ran out of leads. To this day, the case remains unsolved, despite repeated...
What you mean to this day? This video came out like 7 months ago. To this day, the case remains unsolved. Like, what? I don't really know if I would be a good detective. Honestly, anything in crime, anything like that, I don't think I would be a good person because, like, if it's fresh, I'm gonna sit there day and night. Because why is it still 2025? And I think they said this happened in, like, 06. I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't give. I mean, I'm not saying they gave up, but just like I just wouldn't let it slide. Freaking 2011, that case is solved. The 2025, this happened in 06, and it still remains unsolved. It don't make sense to me, but
public appeals by Daniel's family. Due to this killing, South Kilburn will now have intense beef with Kensal Green Boys, who sought out retribution. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Tank is the brother of Justo. Now on the 4th of March 2007, Tank, real name Taino Kavuala, was in the car when he was shot multiple times by a Kensal Green Boy member at around 4:15 PM. The shooter then drove off towards Hammersmith, leaving Tank in his black Audi A3 near the junction of Harrow Road and Willesden Junction Station. Tank was pronounced dead at the scene, and his post-mortem gave the cause of death as multiple gunshot wounds. Despite the police reaching out to a large number of people during the investigation, many wouldn't give a statement. Tank's death would hit South Kilburn hard, especially his blood brother Just.
Because the real me already died. Do you see what I'm saying? The real me died when that happened. On that day. So now when my brother dies, I completely die again. Just was gone. Like it's like I've gone back to the emptiness. Yeah. some people will think that I'm an evil person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just talking real. You know what I mean? That's what I said. Humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done shit that, like, you wouldn't want to sit in the same room as me, or people won't even look at me. They think you're, you know what I mean? Like the worstest person in the whole wide world. But that's not weird stuff.
Now, Press Road boss Magic would be shot numerous times. He would survive the attempt on his life, but be left paralyzed. Allegedly, he was shot by C-Biz, motivated by Magic taking his chain, as well as the death of his friend Tank. C-Biz was a known gunman in the streets. He allegedly would shoot Church Road member Dewey, who was the older brother of Jazzy. Now, during the 2000s, American gangbanging culture would seep into the borough of Brent. The Blood vs Crip phase would emerge with South Kilburn flagging the colour blue, alongside their affiliated gangs such as Chalk Hill and Stonebridge Park. But many more gangs would join in the alliance.
Now, I know this is probably gonna sound like a dumb question. I'm not from London, so I mean, honestly, if somebody be like, "Oh, that's a dumb question," or try and come at me in the comments, I really won't get offended because I really don't know. I didn't know that London. I know they got gangs, but I didn't know that like that says blood set. I thought that said bloodless. Wait, so they got Bloods and Crips? Cause one side wearing blue and one side wearing red. It's a valid question because I don't know. I would have thought like it would have been like different colors. Not saying like it wouldn't be Bloods and Crips. I was just thinking probably that it would be like a different kind of color, not red and blue, which doesn't make sense. Why red and blue are the two like top gang colors? Like you can't choose. Well, I almost said pink.
What?
I don't know. Green and black. That never made sense to me. That's why I would have thought like London would have probably chose like a different color instead of red and blue. I'm not into gangs. I don't know. Maybe that's just the two colors that every gang member be like, we're just gonna go with red and blue. Red and blue.
Listen Green and other subsets all over the borough. They rival the rest of Brent, such as St. Raph's, Kensal Green, Willesden, North Wembley, North Kilburn, some parts of Harlesden, Press Road, Cricklewood, and other areas outside of the borough such as Mozart Estate, who all flagged red. See, colour banking got so bad that people were scared to wear anything red or blue when going out of their estates or areas, even if they weren't involved. People were getting shot, stabbed and assaulted because of red and blue clothing. This was when youth violence peaked in London. Say what you want about the youth of today, but the youth of the 2000s were worse. Even footballer Raheem Sterling, who grew up in St. Raph's Estate, admitted he had to hide his football kit in case he would be targeted.
Dang.
Now, the death of his brother Tank would have a transforming effect on Justo. Ricks later mentions in many interviews that Justo turned so violent to the point members of his own gang stopped dealing with him as he was on crash out mode 24/7. The death of Tank hurt Ricks too, but this wasn't the first time he had lost.
Wait, hold on. Like, how you gonna stop hanging out with me? Cause y'all know I'm going through some stuff. Like, I get it. I'm not saying me personally, but like I get it. Like, you'll crash out. Personally, you should kind of figure out how to fix it so you not like left by yourself. Cause like if you left by yourself, people that's real close to you like die, passed away, whatever, and then now you would crash out. Like, I mean, I'm not saying he wrong. Like, my problem more so is the friends. Like, you won't stop hanging out with me because I'm making crash out decisions. Like, you supposed to be my friend. At least pull me to the side, be like, look, you kind of crashing out a little bit. Like, don't just not hang out with me. Like, what kind of friends is these? I'm like, don't talk to me again. Shoot, I get it, I'm crashing out, but don't talk to me again. Them ain't his real friends if that's the case.
Friend, he witnessed his friend Blooks die on Petland Road after being shot.
Shout out my dog Blooks, you know. See Blooks dead on the floor right here, my dog. I don't even know. I'm gonna say looking like, what the fuck we doing? Yeah, my dog died right here. Right here somewhere. Rest in peace, Blooks, you know.
In 2007, about 500 officers took part in an operation raiding 20 addresses in the South Kilburn estate. 2 women had been arrested. 5 firearms, a silencer, and a large quantity of ammunition had been seized. 2 kilograms of cocaine and stolen items, including cars and credit cards, have also been recovered. Now, these arrests would usher in a new generation of gang members in South Kilburn, which included the likes of M. Low, Hurricane, Gucci, Young Tribes, Carlito and Bones. These guys had beef with HRB members from Mozart. Some of them attended St. Augustine School together and were friends but inherited the beef of their elders. In the streets, C-Biz would roll heavily with the likes of E1 and Richie Boo. E1 being from South Kilburn and Richie Boo being from Stonebridge. E1 and Richie Boo would be planning a revenge attack for the double murder of Stonebridge members Shorty and Ensman that happened in Tudor nightclub in 2002. One of the gunmen that took their friends that day was none other than Church Road member Zeno, who was the older brother of Nines. On the 25th of April 2008, Zeno and his cousin Inch went to Ike's barbershop to get their haircut. Now the barbershop was very close to the Stonebridge Park estate. E1 and Richie Boo, along with their getaway driver, would make their way to the barbershop. When they got there, Zeno was brutally shot and killed while he was in the middle of his trim. Although what Zeno did was a good 6 years ago, it's a testament to the statement that revenge has no expiry date. Now, police came up short in their investigations until they arrested a getaway driver who turned snitch and agreed to testify against E1 and Richie Boo. The getaway driver was Aaron Bernard, who admitted driving E1 and co-accused Richie Boo from the scene and claims he had no idea that the duo were going to commit murder. Jurors heard that around a month after the killing, E1 called Mr. Bernard for a lift to Queensway Shopping Centre in Bayswater. He then said, which I took as a subliminal threat to me, if I hear that anybody's talking to the police, I'm going to get them. Now both E1 and Richie Boo were found guilty of murder and sentenced to a minimum term of 30 years. Now on the 21st of May 2010, in the early hours, Daniel Omari Smith, a 22-year-old electrician from Paddington, London, had just picked up a takeaway meal for his family from KFC when he was approached by an assailant and shot in the back. Despite efforts to save him, he succumbed to his injuries at the scene. The alleged shooter was none other than Justo. His target was Kensal Green member Slim, real name Stacey Theophane, a rival gang member who bore a striking resemblance to Daniel Omari Smith. This was a case of mistaken identity. The weapon used in Daniel's murder was also linked to other shootings in the West Midlands area. 3 men, including Justo, were later accused of shooting dead an innocent man in a botched revenge attack. Jurors heard how a YouTube video posted online with Justo, real name Kervin Kavawala, pointed to a tattoo of his dead brother, while another person raps, "This all started when my brother died. It won't end till I see another homicide." During the trial, Justo claimed the shooting could not have been a revenge attack, as he had always believed that the police had killed his brother. Prosecutors were unable to identify who fired the fatal shot. Now, jurors at the Old Bailey cleared Justo along with 2 others of murder after just 55 minutes deliberation.
Away shop in West London.
Yes, brother. He's the best friend in my life. Come to terms with losing my son, who did nobody any wrong.
In 2011, more raids continued. 250 police officers stormed homes in South Kilburn. 14 people were arrested after.
Y'all don't know how much done got cut off. I was so focused. I was so focused on this documentary. Looked up and my camera stopped recording. So I don't know how much y'all missed. But man, I don't know how much y'all missed. All I'm going to say is right where we at right now. A teen just got shot holding her 11-month. Like, why? You couldn't spare the baby I don't know, shoot. I almost said tell her put the baby down. That's probably why I don't choose to do bad things, because it will put me in an awkward situation. Shoot her while she holding the baby. Tell her put the baby down so I can shoot her. I really don't know. Because I mean, I get it. But I mean, I don't get it. Because I don't even think they meant to shoot her. If you tell her put the baby down, she can put the baby down, pick up a weapon, and hit you. Or she not going to put the baby down because she knows as soon as she put the baby down, she's going to get shot. But that would just be messed up. Especially if the baby lived. And then now the baby growing up and they're like, yeah, your mom was holding you and got shot. That sounded messed up coming out my mouth.
AKA LBG members. Jessica Critchlow suffered face, neck and chest injuries when a South Kilburn gang member, armed with a shotgun, fired into a crowd of young people on the rival Mozart estate. A year later, and South Kilburn members were at it again. On the 11th of September 2012, Mozart member Hersey would be shot in the chest twice on the Mozart estate by South Kilburn members. He was taken to hospital where his condition was initially described as life-threatening. However, he recovered later and was said to be in stable condition. Now in May 2013, South Kilburn member BP was in a vehicle when police intercepted his journey, uncovering 6 firearms, including a handgun, a sawn-off shotgun and a pump-action shotgun alongside ammunition. Additionally, a kilo of high-purity cocaine was found concealed in children's wrapper paper. Subsequent investigation linked BP to further drug-related activities, leading to his arrest and conviction. He received a 27-year prison sentence, comprising 15 years for conspiracy to supply controlled drugs, 8 years for possession of loaded firearms, and 4 years for possession of unloaded firearms, to be served consecutively. Now, while incarcerated, he was still in good spirits, flexing his Versace clothing and gold Rolex.
Nice to see you nice with your boy Big C Dig. Check it out. That's the pinky. That's the bezel.
Shit.
And that's fully all around. It's not none of this. All around.
Yeah.
That's the other. That's the other.
Ooh, that's a lot of ice.
That's the other.
That's a lot of ice.
Check out the chain.
Oh
Low
shit.
ice.
Oh shit.
Some white gold on it. I know I'm pissed myself, but it's icy though. And just they show them.
Sabrina Moss was a primary school teacher who lived in Kilburn. Now, despite being a primary school teacher, it was alleged she was or used to be a set-up girl. Now, I say alleged as it could be false. And it's also alleged she was friends with a lot of...
Did he just say a setup girl? A setup girl? That's what they called? She said, I'm gonna turn my life around. That's what she said. I'm gonna go from being a setup girl to turning my life around. I just can't believe he said a setup girl. Next time I see somebody, she a setup girl. That's what she is.
Around 10:30 p.m, Sabrina was out celebrating her 24th birthday with friends in the Kilburn High Road area of London when one Kensal Green boy member, Enrico, along with 2 Wembley Fornia gang members in the car, were looking for South Kilburn members to attack. Once they saw a group, the 2 of them got out of the car and began opening fire with a submachine gun and shotgun. Their targets would be South Kilburn members in Edson and Soldier. Unfortunately, Sabrina Moss would be caught in the crossfire.
I knew he was gonna. I mean, look, that he just said she a setup girl. So technically, her get back was coming any day. Dang, on her 24th birthday? On her 24th birthday.
After being shot, she was rushed to hospital in critical condition.
Friends and family of Sabrina Moss, the young mother who was shot on a night out in Kilburn, have gathered for her funeral. The 24-year-old nursery teacher was murdered a month ago as she celebrated her birthday. Police say she was an innocent bystander and have renewed their appeal for witnesses. Tara Welsh reports.
A small comfort to a mother facing what every parent dreads: burying her child.
The 3 men Enrico, real name Martel Warren, Hassan Hussein, and Yassin James were charged with the murder of Sabrina Moss. The evidence against them were the following: CCTV footage, forensic evidence, witness testimonies, phone records, vehicle evidence. The combination of this evidence led to the conviction of all 3 men. They were found guilty of murder and each received a life sentence with a minimum of 37 years before being eligible for parole. Now, on the 20th of November 2015, C-Biz released the song The Game's Mine, which helps solidify CB's position of being a notable figure in UK rap. It had a lasting effect on his career, pushing him further into the spotlight. His ER movement would blow up, which stood for E and Right, E being represented by the pound sign. He's seen in interviews saying ER is meant to motivate and inspire everyone to get money. He says there's no excuse to being broke as a grown, able man, and it makes him sick, as you can see in this interview.
Lifestyle.
Is there any excuse to be broke?
No. You're an arsehole to be broke.
Why?
And you're a man. Maybe if you was a girl and something was wrong with you, yeah, it's alright. Or if she was a girl looking for a man, it's not still an excuse to be broke, because broke is just not part of ER.
Now, in early March 2016, C
Just say it's okay to be a woman and be broke. Because he said it fast. So that's a serious question. But that's what I think he said. I don't know if I should take that. I mean, that is a compliment. But, like, at least he not like, you a woman, you need to have as much money as me. Because some dudes, I feel like the way they word it, it just comes off wrong. I get where guys be coming from, where they be like, if I gotta have my own, you gotta have your own. But they just be coming and going about it the wrong way. But how he just made it sound is like, it's okay to not have money. Like, you want me to depend on you is what... That's what I'm thinking he's saying. Unless I misheard what he just said.
Biz would be robbed by a Marley from Church Road for his watch and chains. Soon after, Church Road rapper Nines would take it to social media by posting a video of him and his boys flexing C-Biz valuables while saying, "Don't compare me to these dabbing ass rappers."
I told man don't be comparing man to these dabbing ass rappers, B. Tell your guy come get your fucking shit. Fucking shit. This is the old version again. This ain't a new plate. Man's like, don't get that deep. 15 seconds, man.
It took Instagram and Twitter by storm.
Talking.
Taking a rapper's chain is like taking his honor. As expected, C-Biz was insanely furious, and the public ridicule online only spurred him to seek revenge. On the 9th of March 2016, Oliver Tetlow was standing outside a shop on Church Road, Harlesden, northwest London. A blacked out hatchback pulled up, and a man, allegedly C-Biz, would get out of the vehicle and open fire. 27-year-old Oliver Tetlow was shot multiple times at close range. After the shooting, the assailant quickly got back into the car, which then sped off. Oliver Tetlow had no involvement with any gangs, and his family described him as an innocent bystander who was tragically caught in the crossfire of a gang-related dispute. Now, the day after Oliver's death, C-Biz got onto Twitter and had this to say. Four were later arrested for his murder, one being C-Biz. In January 2017, after a trial at the Old Bailey, all four defendants were acquitted due to insufficient evidence. Following the trial's collapse, C-Biz stated that he was wrongly accused, attributing the allegations to false stories and social media speculation. On the 26th of May 2017, an innocent bystander in Mohana Abduhu was fatally shot in Kilburn, northwest London, when two HRB gang members on bicycle opened fire. The bullet that struck her ricocheted off a wall, hitting Mohana in the back and severing a major artery. She tragically died at the scene. It was later confirmed that she was not the intended target of the gunmen. The case shocked the community, as Mohana had been enjoying time.
I know, okay, so quick question. Like I just told y'all, I don't really commit crime or anything like that. But when it bounced off and it hit the wrong person, like, does that mean, like, y'all, like, let it die down for a little bit and then try to spin again? Or, like, do you just, like, what do you do? Because me personally, if I'm trying to intentionally target you, and I miss you and I hit somebody innocent, that's really gonna make me want to come at you 10 times harder and like faster than the first time. If my intentions is to aim at you and then I miss you and hit somebody else, best believe it's not gonna take as long as probably what it took the first time. It's probably gonna take me less than 2 hours to find you.
The shooting occurred. Now, two men, Mohammed Tawfiq and Keelan Granham, were initially arrested and charged with murder. However, after a trial, both were acquitted due to insufficient evidence to directly link them to the crime. The case highlights the issues of gang violence and the danger faced by innocent people caught in such situations. In 2018, South Kilburn would usher in a new generation of youngers who went by SSK, which stood for Southside Killy. A few members included Broday Ye, 18 Mish, 18 Clappo, etc. South Kilburn's war with Kensal Green boys would eventually end. Now, the younger generation of Southside Killy, who inherited the beef, still, however, had war with HRB from the Mozart estate, crime scene boys from Church Road, top 6 from North Kilburn and Warwick. South Kilburn's allies were still Stonebridge, Ladbroke Grove, Lisson Green. BP, who reps South Kilburn and has done many songs with C-Biz, is originally from Lisson Green. Now, older South Kilburn members would set up a county line operation in Wiltshire. Young tribes would then be wanted on a warrant for conspiracy to supply heroin and crack cocaine in Swindon. However, rather than turning himself in, he would flee to Dubai, where he stays comfortably till this day, releasing music and flexing. In
Oh, wait a minute.
2009,
So they never decided to go to Dubai to go get him? They just let him slide? They just said, you no longer here. We're just gonna let you, like, what? Now that's one thing I really thought, that even if you go to a whole nother country, I could have sworn no matter where you go, if they know where you at, they could come find you. I thought that was a thing. Like, what? How? So he just went to Dubai and now they just said, oh, he's in Dubai making music. He's not committing crime here anymore. We're just gonna let him slide. Like, I could have sworn that was not the case. And I think I have this video right here. I think I have this saved. I never listened to it, reacted to it, or anything like that. But if y'all want me to react to it, let me know. Because I think I have this one saved.
an event occurred that added oil to an already raging fire. One day, Nines was driving around in his Porsche when he was spotted by Stonebridge members Mad Beach and AR. After they locked eyes, a car chase ensued, causing Nines to crash his car. After they caught up with Nines, AR stabbed Nines in the face. Stupidly, AR recorded himself chasing Nines, further incriminating himself. The footage was later used in the courtroom and he was later sentenced. For what happened to the face of Church Road, there would be serious consequences. Firstly, Church Road members would record themselves chasing down South Kilburn member CS and stabbing him up, leaving him on the floor as they mocked him on camera.
Look at that you know the thing. You know the thing. Suck your mum, you you got shanked up, you look at your back. Oh,
On the 5th of July 2019, on Harrow Road, Monks Park, Stonebridge member and friend of K. Coke, Smalls, real name Craig Smalls, was gunned down. The shooting was caught on CCTV. The shooter crept up close on an unaware Smalls standing outside a chicken shop, who was shot at point blank range. And when it looked like the shooter was fleeing, he came back to shoot again while Smalls was lying on the floor. However, the shooter was not done riding. Moments later, he spotted Chalk Hill Boys member Big French sitting in a white car. He approached him from the front windshield and attempted to shoot him, but his gun jammed. Instantly, Big French would then get out of his car and escape with his life. Church Road members Jazzy and Scraps were arrested shortly after by the police. Jazzy was later found guilty of murder and sentenced to 35 years, while Scraps was found guilty of perverting the course of justice and sentenced to 4.5 years. Even behind bars, they were not safe from retaliation. South Kilburn member Miniman would allegedly give orders, and Scraps would be stabbed in the neck in prison, almost losing his life. Now in 2020, many CSB members were released from prison and held a block party to celebrate. Each gang member, part of the SOS set in Stonebridge, which stood for Shoot on Sight, would get intel of the party and ruin the fun. SOS member Crash Corn would slide. He spotted a CSB member along with his family and didn't hesitate to shoot. The CSB member was shot in the arm, his wife was shot 5 times in the chest, and the most heinous crime of them all, the 2-year-old was shot in the head. Fortunately, all survived but had life-changing injuries. Crash Corn...
Wait, I don't know which one worse. They said his wife got shot 5 times in the chest and then the son got shot in the head. Like, me personally. See, that right there, that is a perfect reason to crash out. I'm not saying the one from earlier wasn't a reason to crash out either. But that right there is a perfect reason. You shot my wife in the chest and my son in the head. I mean, if he asked my opinion, I would okay the crash out. I'm just saying. Like, I mean, they all lived, but like, cause the brain, like, does that mean the son was okay after he got shot in the head? Or like, can he still function? Like, if you hit the wrong little spot, you might be like paralyzed for the rest of your life.
Would later be charged for triple attempted murder, but to everyone's surprise, he would manage to beat the case due to insufficient evidence. Now, it's one thing being shot, but to have your wife and 2-year-old shot is a different level of pain.
I didn't even know the boy was 2. Oh, that just makes it worse. My kid ain't even been on this planet 10 years. I think really what's getting me is the son. I mean, if I was a wife and my husband got shot in his chest 5 times and then my son got shot in his head, all I'm gonna say is you better run. Something to say.
And anger that I can't imagine. So for what Crashcorn did, his father was executed in Jamaica. Stonebridge members would hold a vigil for the father of Crashcorn in ends. HRB member Billy the Kid, who recently got out of jail, would gain intel on this vigil happening and prepare an attack. However, before he put things into motion, he got a call letting him know his friend Arms was stabbed to death. Arms was a Warwick gang member and affiliate of HRB. Tragically, he lost his life after being stabbed in the early hours of July 15th, 2020. Now Billy the Kid, who was already planning to crash the vigil being held by Stonebridge members, now had even more of a reason to. Despite Stonebridge having nothing to do with Arms' death, they were affiliated with Listen Green, who were responsible for his death, and that was enough. Upon hearing the news, Billy went to St. Raph's estate to round up 4 members, 2 of them being Bizzle and Gritty. They would get in the car with Billy and travel to the vigil to carry out a drive-by shooting. However, before they could reach the destination, they were spotted by Monks Park members who let their Stonebridge affiliates know. This allowed the Stonebridge members to be armed and ready. When they finally got to the vigil, Billy the Kid got out and opened fire indiscriminately, but missed. The Stonebridge members fired back and struck Billy twice in the back. Then multiple gunshots were being fired at the same time, resulting in one of the St. Raph members being shot in the leg, forcing them to drive off while Billy was hit and on the floor. People claimed they left Billy for dead, but they had no other choice. Bullets were flying. It was so chaotic that one Stonebridge member accidentally shot another in the arm. Members of the public recorded a video of Billy's body as paramedics were trying to resuscitate him, but it was later taken off the internet. Billy was shot a total of 6 times. A week later, and on the 22nd of July 2020, South Kilburn rappers M. Low and Fibs would drop the song titled No One. Lyrically, they spent the majority of the track insulting Billy's death. It was a very rude one. Now, 3 of Billy's friends who rode out with him that night would be charged for his murder. You heard that right. Police couldn't find the Stonebridge members who killed Billy, so charged his friends in a legal first. See, this legal doctrine allows individuals to be held criminally liable for a crime committed by another person if they participated in the crime or played a role in its commission, even if they did not directly carry out the act itself. In Billy's case, despite the fact that his friends, Saeed, Yusuf and Mensa did not fire any of the shots that hit him, they were still convicted because they were part of the group that initiated the violent confrontation. The prosecution argued that by engaging in a planned retaliatory shooting, they shared the intent and responsibility for the outcome, including Billy's death. Now, Izza Saeed was sentenced to a minimum of 28 years before being eligible for parole. Adel Yusuf was sentenced to a minimum of 27 years before being eligible for parole. And finally, Daniel Mensah was sentenced to a minimum of 26 years before being eligible for parole. Now, it's one thing to lose a friend while you are actively trying to get revenge for another friend you lost a day ago, but now you are doing football numbers behind bars while your friend's real killers are free. I don't think I've seen anyone take...
Yeah, that would eat me alive. But wait, so I thought they got arrested because... Well, maybe I misheard that too. Because I thought he said they got arrested because pretty much it looked like they set it up. But wait, hold on. So, I'm going to just hold my comment till the end of the video. They probably going to answer my question.
In the streets then. Now, you may be wondering, how does this all relate to South Kilburn? Well, for the murder of Billy, HRB Mozart members would target South Kilburn as revenge. Again, despite them having nothing to do with it, their affiliation with Stonebridge and old age beef with Mozart was enough. So on the 12th of August 2020, at approximately 12:20 AM, South Kilburn member Gucci, real name Jeffrey Wegby, was tragically shot outside his home in Hanzo Road, Kilburn. Despite efforts of emergency services, he was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, in the days following his death, 2 men aged 27 and 36 were arrested on suspicion of murder, but were subsequently released under investigation. One of these men was Broad Day, who was very close with Billy the Kid and was an active gang member, which is a set located in Agar Grove, Camden. Rumours it was a paid hit by Fredo. This comes from the fact Fredo is seen on Instagram arguing with South Kilburn members.
When they say Fredo, is they talking about the Fredo that y'all used to have me react to? How in the world does Fredo tie into this? Something ain't adding up.
Boy, while Seth replied,
Oh, that is the Fredo. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm disappointed. I don't know if I'm disappointed in him or not.
don't pay nobody to do drillings. Now Sven Bazak was an aspiring lawyer. He was from Maida which is the same territory as some HRB members. It is believed by many that Sven was no gang member. He merely grew up in the same area and knew some of the members. This picture of him with Ratland would unfortunately later make him a target. On the evening of the 6th of February 2021, Sven and his 16-year-old friend had visited Waitrose supermarket and were returning home when they were approached by a group of 6 men. The group included Southside Killing members Broadday Ye and Shocks, who attacked the pair. The attack was swift and brutal. Sven was stabbed in the chest and after collapsing was further assaulted by the group. His friend was also stabbed but managed to seek help at a nearby Tesco store. Despite paramedic efforts, Sven succumbed to his injuries at the scene. Following an extensive investigation, Broadday Ye and Shocks were convicted of murder and wounded with intent. They were each sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 27 years. Also, Southside Killing member Little H, real name Harvey Canavan, pleaded guilty to manslaughter and unlawful wounding and received a sentence of 7.5 years for manslaughter. Now on the 19th of July 2022, HRB members were having a block party. Their enemies would get the drop. A South Kilburn gang member would be the driver while the gunman would be a Ladbroke Grove gang member. Despite the rumours, he wasn't a CGM member, but rather from the older sets within Ladbroke Grove. They sought out blood as revenge for what happened to Gucci. Now Wu, who was the older brother of Little Dots, would be shot outside a block of flats in Queen's Park, West London. There's even a video of his friends carrying him and driving him to hospital, where he was shortly pronounced dead. Now a post-mortem examination confirmed he died from a gunshot wound to the heart and he had also been shot in the back. There's an eerie video of Wu online where he's on camera saying, "I'm like Reese Money, see my hitters they come quick."
I'm like Reese Money, see my hitters they come quick. So you might be out for a week.
It was like he was foreshadowing the revenge his HRB members were going to get for his death, and he wasn't lying about them being quick. Not even a month passed after Wu's death, and South Kilburn were fatally struck again. On the 4th of September 2022, police rushed to reports of gunshots in West London at 2:02 AM. What they discovered was a man believed to be in his 20s who had suffered gunshot wounds. Now that man was none other than South Kilburn rapper M. Lowe, real name Maximilian Kusio Russo. He was given medical assistance at the scene and rushed to hospital, but was tragically pronounced dead at 5:32 AM. HRB rapper Fredo would go and snap and post this. In other words, half the job was done. The other half involved Wu's murder was Ladbroke Grove.
God. Y'all, okay, I'm glad that the video is over because, well, I mean, not like that, because I did like the video, but I'm saying I'm glad the video is over because my camera keeps shutting off, so I don't even know if y'all caught the ending of what he just said, but this video, let me tell y'all, this video got a lot going on. Started off correctly. I thought freaking first dude, I thought he was hanging, I thought he was a little snitch. Come to find out he wasn't a snitch. Second thing, the dude pretty much losing all his friends because he's a crash out. Like, y'all don't understand, he got other things going on. At least be his friend and be like, look, you kind of making crash out decisions. Then the third thing is the 18-year-old that got shot holding her 11-month-old. That's why I say I thank y'all when y'all be telling me to like react to these videos and stuff. I thank y'all because I swear to God, I probably would have been one of those people that's like, that's London. London don't have crime. Like, I probably would have been like that. Y'all already know. Like, comment, and subscribe. But I do miss reacting to these videos. I used to love, when I tell y'all, I used to love reacting to these videos. Y'all already know, like I just said, like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell so you're always notified. Let me know if y'all want me to react to some more London type videos like this. Like I just said, I like reacting to these type of videos. So if y'all got a video like this in mind, it ain't even gotta be London. It could be anywhere. If it's like this, best believe I got you on that reaction. Y'all already know, it's T-Gang or no gang. We out.